got to shoot this bit, Margaret. You've got to shoot it.
So, hello, listeners, and welcome to this week's episode of the Whiteout Podcast. I'm Dom, publisher at In the Snow, and I'm as happy as Santa in the snow to be joined by Bains ski instructor, drummer, journalist, PR guru, Rob Stewart as my fabulous co-host. Welcome, Rob, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, Dom. I mean, these introductions, you know, why I've got to have a turn of introducing you at some point because it's you're gonna know how it feels when I do that as well.
Yeah, one day, Rob, one day.
You know, just before we start, we've been doing loads of research this week for the podcast, right, into lots of ski resorts, and I stumbled across a ski area called Puke. I mean, what a name for a ski resort. It's like, I thought, like, Puke. It's a brilliant name for a ski resort. Like, you know, sick man, or like, it's puking out there. And what a brilliant name. It's in Albania.
Okay.
Not a lot of info about the skiing there, but apparently it starts at 838 meters above sea level. Okay. And there's a number of slopes, and the coolest thing is though they also make a beer there called Puka beer or Puka, maybe Puka beer.
Anyway. I wonder what it means. I wonder if it's got a meaning in Albanian.
I'll have a look at that. I don't know.
My only research led me to the Lindsay Vonn podcast that we released last week, which has gone down an absolute storm. So it's interesting to see how many people are super keen on hearing from Lindsay Vonn. So that was nice.
Well, I'm so glad people are enjoying it.
And you're off to Teen this week?
I'm off to Teen this week to check out the new Club Med development that's opening there.
Sounds
so
good.
I'm very excited about that. Very excited about getting on skis again.
Very good. Always. And what have we got coming up in our podcast today?
Yeah, so our snow forecast roundup. I don't know if you've caught your breath from episode 9, Dom. That was quite an epic one. We've got news from around the snow world, you know, our latest news. We've got our resort spotlight of the week. And this week, Dom, we are going to be looking at...
I think we're going head to head this time. So I'm doing Brie-le-Bas and you...
Yeah. Well, I'm cheating slightly because I looked at ski resorts I'd been to beginning with B, and it was a bit limited. But I did find Bruel Cervinia, which is normally known as just Cervinia. We'll also be looking at chosen gear of the week.
Sounds good. And also you've got somewhere that we didn't know we could ski before. Without much further ado, maybe we should get stuck straight into the snow forecast.
Absolutely. Go for it, Dom.
So it's a great time to give a shout out to our two charity partners, Rob. Firstly, we're proud to support Snow Camp, the game-changing national youth charity who turn young lives around with the power of snow sports. They do amazing work by harnessing the power of skiing and snowboarding to develop life skills, qualifications, and positive opportunities for over 1,000 hard-to-reach young people year on year. Do go ahead and visit our charity partner today, snowcamp.org.uk.
Yeah, Dom. Absolutely fantastic charity, Snow Camp. But I'd also like to give a big shout out to the Ellie Suter Foundation, who have just announced another athlete, 12-year-old alpine skier Xavier Poynton, as a new grant-funded skier on their programme. This now means they're looking after 4 of the UK's top up-and-coming prospective Olympians, which is unreal for this fairly new charity. And go and check them out, the elliesuter.foundation.
Fantastic, Rob. Thanks very much. So, Rob, Europe conditions in the Alps pretty all right now. It's not earth-shattering, but it's all right. We've had snow most days throughout the week across a lot of the Alps, which has allowed for some better piste skiing. There's about 50 ski areas now open in Europe, half of them in Austria and Switzerland, so they're having a good time of it. Teen and Val Thorens and Ischgl now all open as of last weekend, 26th, 27th of November, and joined by a few of the bigger named Italian resorts, including Cervinia and Cornwall. Most have had at least a foot of fresh snow over the past week, and snow down to lower levels as well. But don't get me wrong, we aren't talking big powder meccas yet, but as Tesco says, every little helps. They're not sponsoring this episode. So Ischgl, they seem to have the greatest amount of piste skiing of any resort in the Alps right now. About 100 kilometres are already open, although fairly modest upper slope levels of about 40 centimetres. And it's not just the Alps. The season is well underway. Dolomiti Super Ski in Italy, Cortina d'Ampezzo and several other resorts. And the first centre is also open for this season in the Pyrenees, which is Baccarat in the Spanish side of the mountains. So that's good news. Also, some of the big name skiers have opened in Scandinavia as well, including Norway's Kvitvel and is it Galo? Galo?
J-Lo, I would say. J-Lo. Yeah, Just quickly jump in there, Dom. I've seen a friend of mine who lives in Hafjell in Norway and has been skiing in Kvitfjell this week. It's absolutely dumping there right now.
Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? It's great to see.
Dumping.
And obviously, as we've talked about before, the likes of Levi and Ruka and Elas, they're all open as well. So pretty wintry picture, lots of snow falling out there. So it is looking particularly good. There's been snow too in places where resorts haven't opened yet, but will soon be opening, including Eastern Europe in places like Bulgaria, closer to home in Scotland. We have seen some snow, which is good news. Our editor's based up there and he sent some pictures of some snow on the hills, and one or two ski centres like Croatia, Algeria and Portugal, would you believe it, even getting snow. So quite good at the moment. Snow is widespread. There isn't tons of it, but little and often is better than nothing. And temperatures look like they're getting colder because it does look like there's snow cannons working around the place, and they only really get those on when the temperatures are low. So Europe in general looking a bit better. We are getting regular bits of snow, and I think it's not the best season we could have asked for, but it's all right.
So far, so good.
Early days. So good. So far,
Early
so
days.
good. Over in America, obviously, as we've said before, a very different story. Over 100 centres now open over there, helped by mostly low temperatures and good natural snow. They are having a good time. A lot of resorts obviously wanting to open before the US Thanksgiving holiday, because obviously that's a real incentive for them to be getting open and getting plenty of people through. Best of the snowfall has been in the west, where Mammoth in California reports they already have had 2 meters lying on their highest slopes, which really does put our 40 centimeters to shame. Lake Louise even had to cancel their men's downhill, but for very different from the cancellations we saw in Europe, in the fact that they had too much snow and it was snowing too heavily at the time. Most of the big name resorts across the country are now open, with the largest of Canada's, Whistler Blackcomb, opening on Thursday this week. So Rob, plenty going on across the pond. Relatively good news across Europe, not as good as it could be. If you want to really cash in on big snow, head across to America. And that is my roundup for today.
That's all, folks.
Sounding more positive, isn't it? It's starting to get there, and fingers crossed we're heading in the right direction.
I'm out there over New Year, so I'm very much hoping that by then things are looking deep and crisp and even. Rob, did you get what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty poor.
So
anyway, so you must have some news for us. There must have been plenty that's gone on in the last couple of weeks. What have you got for us in the news this week?
I have got some news, and I've just mentioned the Club Med opening in Teen. I am going there this week. It's an all-inclusive Club Med resort. It's in Teen Val Claret. It's got 430 rooms, 2 restaurants. Wow. It's a huge development in a prime location. You know, Club Med, the upmarket all-inclusive holidays. Prices start at around £1,400 per week. That's low season per person, but that includes meals, 3 meals a day, all your drinks, you know, including alcoholic drinks, wine and beer, that kind of thing. Lift pass and ski lessons. Average prices for the season around £2,000 to £2,500 per person for 7 nights. But you know, when you tally everything up that you get for that, the food quality is very good. But
looks lovely from the pictures I've seen. Looks really nice.
Wendy Holdner wins a World Cup ski race. Now, you might not think that's a big news story, but after actually, I believe 30 podiums, no wins, Switzerland's Wendy Holdner, she finally got the top spot in Killington last weekend in the women's slalom. It was a brilliant race to watch. Home favourite Michaela Schifrin, that I had my money on, she had to settle for 5th place in the end. It was a tough second run. Conditions were deteriorating, but Wendy also had to share a top spot with Sweden's Anna Sven Larsson. So even when she did win, it wasn't alone, but they looked very happy. They both looked happy, and it was Anna's first win as well. So, you know, it was just so nice to see Wendy win after following her for several years and just always coming second or third, or often coming second or third. Who would complain about that? But yet never winning. A new dry slope near St Austell in Cornwall is given the go-ahead. So nice. Yeah, it looks nice. You know, plan to build the biggest ski and snowboard slope in the southwest. And the plans were unveiled back originally in 2018. They had archaeological surveys of the site, and it's been carried out, and it's been given approval. So it's going to be called Altitude Snow Park, including 6 homes on the site, a visitor centre, additional car parking, and a play area for a school. And there's going to be plans for 3 slopes, a beginner, intermediate and advanced. So it sounds quite a big setup. So another reason potentially to go to Cornwall for us skiers.
Like it.
So the Arc'teryx Freeride Academy returns in February 2023 as a 2nd edition, returning to St Anton in Austria from Feb 2nd to 5th. It promises 4 action-packed days of fresh tracks, top-notch clinics, awesome community, of course, epic movies, and a party feel. There's even a new free ride village right in the centre of town, new community meetup space, inclusion of the location as a stop on the Arc'teryx Films tour, which is for the love of winter this year, and the chance to keep the stoke, apparently, according to them, it's not my words, and the vibes going at the after party. So there's 40 clinics covering lots of topics like free riding, ski touring, mountain safety, photography, and highlights such as big mountain free ride and women's only camps, free ride with pros, ski touring Arlberg style, so much going on, with instruction provided by some of the world's best guides and free riders. So check that out. And lastly, not least, this story definitely takes the biscuit. It's the world's best cookie. Is it a ski story? I don't know. Beaver Creek in Colorado. It opened early for the season in November. They had 60 inches of pre-season snowfall, about over a meter. But the annual staging of the world's best chocolate chip cookie competition also took place. Much bigger news, we thought.
Of course.
It featured 5 local bakers from the local Eagle and Summit counties region, which is the area around there, each baking 1,000 cookies from their own signature recipe for visitors and judges to take. So the winner of the best chocolate chip cookie competition, judged on taste, appearance, creativity, and texture, takes home a $2,000 prize, which I guess that's the icing on the cake.
They're getting worse, Rob. Well, I'm going to Beaver Creek, so I can't wait to try those cookies out. That sounds like
fantastic.
There's loads going on in resorts, isn't there? And even the world's best cookie competition. So I really do like the sound of that Arc'teryx Academy. That sounds brilliant as well. So
yeah, I think these kind of festivals and these events are building and growing. I mean, I'd love to go to the Arc'teryx Academy weekend. Unfortunately, I am somewhere else that weekend. But I think if you're around on the 2nd of Feb to the 5th of Feb in St Anton, what a cool place to be. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thinking about destinations and resorts, Dom, I know you've got a resort beginning with B, which we've talked about, and so have I, kind of. But we couldn't agree on which one to do. So how about a quick game of top trumps to see whose is best? How about that?
I haven't played that since I was about 5. Right, Rob, I'm game on for that challenge. My resort is Brie-de-la-Bain. I think you'll find I've won, my friend.
You're sounding very confident, smug there.
For those listeners don't know it that well, Brie-de-la-Bain is perfectly positioned just down from the main Three Valleys ski area. I'm already sensing a win here, Rob. What do you think?
It's not even a bloody ski resort. How can it beat Cervinia? Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Dom. Come on. What else have you got?
Well, I'm just underneath Maribel. We're talking about a lovely looking, pretty little town, very traditional, good choice of shops and restaurants, a little bit of après going on. We're not talking Maribel standards, but good local food, some nice restaurants, the Grand Spa Thermal, a casino, typical Savoyard village. So I'm 2 hours from Geneva. I'm just over an hour from Chambéry, Rob. I mean, we're talking little village. I think it's more of a town, 3-stage telecabin, straight up to Maribel. How much better does it get than that? So I'll leave you to contemplate when you're trying to compete with that, Rob.
You're sounding quite smug about that. You know, and actually, it's a good backdoor resort, I'd say, Brie-de-la-Bain. But my resort, which is a real ski resort, is called Bruel Cervinia. I had to go for a B. I had to find a B that I'd actually been to. So I've cheated slightly. Bruel Cervinia, or normally known just as Cervinia, but actually its official name is Bruel Cervinia. So I'm quite happy to get away with that one.
You are clutching at straws.
No, come on. Play the game. You sound like you're getting nervous already, Dom. So my location is Bruel Cervinia. It's in the Aosta Valley in Italy. It's very high. It's mostly above the tree line. Long history, amazing history. Started lifts there after World War II. Matterhorn dominates the scenery as well, which is impressive. It doesn't have that kind of classic look, but it's got an amazing wall of rock there. A lot of the slopes are south facing. Very, very nice sunny resort. Really, really long runs. Best suited to intermediates, and of course it links up with Zermatt in Switzerland. You get great snow reliability there, very long season, and these kind of cruisy runs that it's famous for, and some great off-piste, especially on the Zermatt side. It's much cheaper than staying on the Swiss side though, and the food is great, and the Italians are always very friendly, I find. So there we are.
Impressive, Rob. I see what you're doing there, trying to bring Zermatt into your Very, very phony Brawl Cervinia, whoever calls it that, but there you go. So I'm going to let you have it. So let's have a look at the stats then. What are we looking at? Resort level, what height are you?
Yeah, so the resort of Cervinia is 2,050 meters above altitude versus 600 meters for Bridlaban. Sorry about that.
Not good.
Oh, yeah, no. The highest point is 3,883 meters above Cervinia on the Clyde and Matterhorn, which is the highest cable car in Europe.
That's
so
impressive. That's impressive. I'm 3,230, my highest point in the Three Valleys. So not far away there, but yeah,
not too
you've
far.
trumped me there for sure.
Respectable altitude. Yeah, kilometers apiece. Right.
I think I've got this one, Rob. I think it's fair to say I've got this one.
Okay.
What have you got?
If you include Zermatt and Cervinia, which is called the Matterhorn Ski Paradise, that's 360 kilometers.
So I think I can quite happily take that one. 600 kilometers apiece across the Three Valleys. So yeah.
I think you're right, Dom. Okay. Number of lifts, 51-ish. Okay.
180.
Okay. All right.
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
All right. Yeah, you got me on that one. You've got me on that one. But I mean, you never see half of them, would you? I mean, 100. Why do you need 180 lifts? I mean, it's just a daft idea, isn't it? That? So I guess we're now going to go on to our scoring, and we've scored the resorts, haven't we? And in certain categories, we've got a beginners category, families, free ride and experts category, accommodation choice, food and drink, après ski category, and we're going to score them each out of 10. And we've had to have given our own scores, and we're going to be ultra fair about that, I think, and then compare the scores at the end. So for me, in Cervinia, my beginner score is 8. What about you, Dom?
And my beginner score is a 6.
Okay.
For Bridlaban. Families?
Okay. Families, I've scored Cervinia on 7.
Okay, and I've got an 8 out of 10. Free ride and experts?
Mine's a 6.
Rob, do I need to even say this out loud? I'm saying a 9.
I just want to caveat that by saying if I included Zermatt in that, the score would be higher, but I just kept it to Cervinia. Accommodation.
If I didn't include the Three Valleys, mine would be a 0. Accommodation choice?
Fair point. 8.
8, and I've said a 7. And for food and drink?
Wow. I mean, I've put 9. I mean, really, it's Italy. It should be 10, but I've put 9.
Yeah, and I've said a 7, a solid 7 for Breed. And for après ski?
For Cervinia, it's a 5.
Okay, and I've said a 6.
Right.
So,
okay,
where does
what
that
are the
get us?
totals? We need to tally that up, Dom. Okay, I'm on 43.
Okay, and I'm on 43.
So we've drawn our first session of Top Trumps. We have a draw.
Yeah.
How
I did win on the actual physical stats though. I mean, this was more opinion based, but the actual stats, I think I definitely came out on top.
Yeah. I mean, look, we are talking a close run thing there. There is a big difference between a Bruel, Cervinia, and Bridlaban. I would say lots of good things about both those places.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 very different resorts. Hopefully next time we'll see a big, because otherwise everybody's going to think we're fixing this. We're definitely not fixing it. We gave our own scores. So
well, we can't really have an argument about that. I still think I should have won though, with the fact that I'm in a proper ski resort, and you're not.
I'm connected to the world's largest ski area. Moving on, Rob, I'm not interested in any more competition. So, Rob, on to our next favourite bit, which is gear. We all love a bit of gear, and I've got my hands on some nice stuff this week. What have you spied?
Yeah, I've got a few things. There's a new Osprey backpack out. Well, there's a men's and a women's version. So Kamber for men, Kresta for women, built to perform in the toughest mountain conditions, says Osprey. So sustainable, durable, and lots of technical features: horizontal and vertical back panel, snowboard carries, helmet nets, quick access avalanche safety kit pocket with shovel handle and probe sleeve, diagonal and side ski carry options. There's a 20 litre and a 30 litre option, and the retail prices are 140 for the 20 litre, 160 for the 30 litres. So check that out on ospreyeurope.com. It's kind of a gear story. It's more of a general gear story, though, because interestingly, as the ski racing season is really kicking underway now, we can see the Norwegian team in the Helly Hansen gear, and Helly Hansen have partnered with the Norwegian Ski Team. It's Helly Hansen's kind of whole strategy to supply professionals, whether they're racing teams like the Norwegian Ski Team or maybe ski patrol, with their kit. And that's their catchphrase, is trusted by professionals. I've just got hold of the new men's Elevation Infinity 2.0 shell jacket. Bit of a mouthful,
Nice.
but it's a very impressive bit of kit. Jet black with a bright orange hood for extra visibility. And that's £700. So it's high end, but it's very technical. And that's available at hellyhansen.com.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's smart. A new Dalbello boot called the Veloce, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's launched. The Veloce ski boot line has been developed for skiers with a medium foot width who want to combine an exciting day on the slopes with Italian style. They guarantee a precise fit, high level of comfort with that as well. So it's kind of geared towards high-end recreational skiers, I would say. There is a 130 flex, pretty stiff, almost a racing style boot, but goes down to a 120 flex, a 105, and a 95 for women as well. Men's and women's models available. £400, so kind of mid-ranged price point, and they are available from Absolute Snow. So
nice
that was my gear roundup. Yeah, that was my gear roundup for this week.
Yeah.
How about you, Dom?
Well, got a few things that are probably quite different to yours, actually, Rob. So Colmar have released a velvet puffy ski jacket. I've got to say, it's probably not for me, but it is quite a beast of a jacket. I mean, Colmar, beautiful brand. This is for your seriously cold days. It's sort of high fashion meets backcountry ready, multifunctional, quilted, soft, water repellent down, stretch lining it, 535 quid. And tell you what a statement piece. You've got to get hold of one of these, Rob. You're going to look epic.
Check it out. Colmar. I haven't seen Colmar around a lot recently, but it's a good brand. Yeah,
definitely starting to make noises here again, which is great. Along the same lines is a Moose Knuckles jacket. I don't know whether you know Moose Knuckles, but they're definitely really nice. Irving Parker that we saw here. This is a ladies' jacket. We are talking serious Megève wear here. This is a floor-to-ceiling, full-length Parker. Total elegance, looks absolutely amazing. It's a puffer style coat. It's like you've never seen before. It is a beautiful duvet fitted to a lady's body. Can you think of anything better? A removable belt, 90-10 downfill, so it's really warm but super light. Hood packs down into the collar, so you can have like a really sort of smart, stylish collar. Gold-plated icon on the side, looks absolutely amazing with the Moose Knuckles logo. This is an absolute stunner. And Rob, I know Jackie would look great in this for Christmas. We're talking £1,325. It's nothing between, friends, is it?
Well, as we're getting paid that per minute recording this podcast. So yes, I'll definitely buy one of those for Christmas. I'd like one as well, though. I mean, it's another one that I'd like a down duvet to walk around with in a ski resort that perfectly fits my body. I don't know if there'd be one actually to do that. Probably unlikely. But if they do bespoke ones at that price, it should be bespoke, shouldn't it? Yeah. £1,325. But anyway, it's a great brand. They make a very, very high quality clothing for sure. So
really nice. My final item is it sounds really boring, but it's a head boot bag. But it is a very slick, slimline, smart looking boot bag. So if ever you're worried about going over weight limit and you want to take your boots on board the plane, this is the neatest possible bag you can get to fit your ski boots in. It's pretty much like a briefcase for your ski boots. It's small, compact, lightweight, fits any of the carry-on size limits, which is quite a bold claim, especially how things change nowadays. And it's complete with rucksack straps, so when you're walking around the airport and you want the weight of your skis on your back, that's great. When you get on board, you can just tuck those straps in, slips underneath the chair in front, and it's even got a little document pocket as well, so no doubt you could fit a miniature laptop or something like that, or an iPad or something like that in there. A real perfect airline traveling companion, perfect for a Christmas gift, and it's sleek and stylish. Only 45 quid. I mean, that's a bargain. If ever I saw one.
That's beautiful, Dom.
Oh God, Rob, it's getting worse. I can imagine you at the Christmas table with your crackers.
Well, it is getting close to Christmas, wasn't that? That was the turkey farmer saying.
Bernard Matthews. That's
it. There you go.
Trademarked it, Bernard Matthews. We're not trying to steal him.
No, sorry, Bernard.
And so, that's all from me, Rob. That's all from me and the Whiteout Boot Run for this month. So, without further ado, Rob, how about? I didn't know you could ski there. Where are you taking us this week?
Well, Dom, this week it's Iran. And as the Football World Cup is currently on at the moment, I was thinking about the closest place you might be able to escape the drivel that is kicking a ball around a pitch. Only kidding, kind of. Yeah, and head to the mountains. So Iran is kind of basically next door to Qatar, or at least just across a short stretch of water. There's some obvious challenges right now when it comes to visiting Iran, but let's hope that changes soon, because I know so many people that have said it's a fabulous country to visit, with really, really friendly people. Of course, an amazing historic culture that stretches back thousands of years. You know, unfortunately, as we know right now, the country is facing some challenges, and the current Foreign Office advice is to not travel there at the moment, but hopefully that will change soon. The capital, Tehran, is the entry point for the skiing. The mountains aren't far away at all, and they're big mountains. The Alps, they're called, with the highest peak it's Mount Damavand, reaching over 5,600 meters. It's huge. Oh my God. That is incredible. It's actually a potentially active volcano, and these mountains are visible from the city, and they're just 45 miles away. So the country's largest resort is called Dizin. It's got around 15 ski lifts. It's pretty popular, especially on the weekends. Not far from Tehran. It's very high, reaching 3,600 meters. So it's putting it into one of the highest ski resorts in the world, certainly the top 40. And the area gets regular powder snow conditions as well. So it's a great powder destination. Close by to Dizin is a smaller area. It's about 40 minutes drive. It's called Shemshak. It goes up to 3,000 meters, got 7 lifts. So it's smaller, but the terrain is quite steep. It's really suited for sort of good, expert free ride skiers. Apparently they get lots of moguls there as well. And then there's a smaller privately operated resort called Darbanzar. I think that's how you pronounce it. Possibly not, but just up the road. And they've got a gondola lift. That's a private resort. So it's always very quiet there. Nice. All in all, there's 7 ski areas around Tehran, or within that sort of distance. And of course, the chance to stay in the city itself as well. I've got to confess, though, I have not been to Iran myself.
Okay.
But Nick Williams, who we know very well from Mountain Heaven, has been there a few times to ski. And I've spoken to him about the experience on several occasions. He absolutely loves it. And once things settle down, they will be running skiing trips there again. I mean, he's got stories of amazing hospitality and great food everywhere they go. Super friendly people. Getting there is normally fairly straightforward, with airlines including Lufthansa and Turkish flying from the UK to Tehran with a stopover somewhere. And there's just a few other notes about traveling to Iran that I'd like to point out. Vegetarians beware. Very, very difficult for them. And if you're vegan, basically bring your own food. Women, well, yeah, I mean, it's just not going to happen. Women currently are required to wear headscarves. On the slopes, a helmet is fine. It has been suggested to me that it's a bit more relaxed than sometimes portrayed, in the media, but still, it is a legal requirement. Alcohol is also officially banned in Iran, so après ski is a bit different. It doesn't mean you won't find alcohol, though, but, officially it's not sold. Probably best to bring your own ski equipment when you go there, because rental equipment is pretty basic. And beware, if you do go to Iran and then you want to travel to the USA, United States of America, you will need to apply for a full visa if you're a UK citizen, rather than the ESTA, which UK citizens can normally apply for, which is a visa waiver program. But you go to Iran, and by the way, Cuba as well. Now, if you go to Cuba or Iran, you want to go to America, you got to go for the visa route, which is a much, it's more expensive, and it takes longer to get that visa than the ESTA. The ESTA is very simple to get hold of, as long as you haven't been a naughty boy anywhere. So there we are. That's Iran. Right. One day I would love to go there, basically because I love a good kebab.
Wow, what a destination, Rob. That's pretty exciting. I like that. So, Rob, great to see you again this week, and you're off to Teen in the next few days. I'll be looking forward to seeing some pictures coming out of there and to hear what happened there. Anything else you've got to report before we disappear? Yeah, I'm going to the Club Med, and then I am moving on after that to Val Thorens, to the UCPA Centre in Val Thorens for the weekend as well, which I'm really, really looking forward to. And it would be interesting to compare those two places, actually, because they are both all-inclusive resorts. Club Med, more the upmarket one, and the UCPA,
more the sort of modest one, and the price difference is quite interesting, shall we say. Yeah, that'd be really interesting to see that.
Well, Rob, in the meantime, I will be in the snow towers getting out our next copy of our magazine. I know where I'd rather be, but I hope you have a safe trip and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. Listeners, don't forget to listen to our podcast on Lindsey Vonn, which was very interesting last week. Read the notes, and Rob, have a good journey. See you in a couple of weeks.
You too, Dom. Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Have a good one.
Mais non, talkie-walkie.
Pretty sure it's called a walkie-talkie, mate.